Welcome back to this series on Adam Smith's theory of value. So far in this series, we've discussed three theories of value that Smith put forth in his Wealth of Nations: the labor-embodied theory, the adding-up theory, and the labor-commanded theory. All these theories have something at odds with each other. Needless to say, Smith's value theory is not very concise. Smith begins by arguing that the value of a commodity is determined by the quantity of labor expended in its acquisition. Then he dismisses his own argument as being inapplicable when private property slips into the picture. Then Smith argues that a commodity's value is determined by the value of the labor, land, and capital expended in its production. The matter is farther complicated by the looseness with which Smith refers to the labor expended in the creation of a commodity. He often refers to it as being synonymous with the labor which a commodity commands in the market, although, as later economists would point out, the labor expended in the creation of a commodity may differ from the amount of labor which it commands in the market. Here in Smith, there really are fragments of three different theories of value: the labor-embodied theory, the labor-commanded theory, and the adding-up theory. These fragments have come to represent the different directions in which the theory of value was taken after Smith's Wealth of Nations. The labor-embodied theory was taken up by David Ricardo, the labor-commanded theory was taken up by Thomas Malthus, and the adding-up theory was taken up by John Stuart Mill. Must these three theories latent in Smith be taken in different directions, or is there a way to reconcile them? Scholars have not really reached a consensus as to whether or not Smith's theories of value can coincide. Some have attempted to align the adding-up theory with Smith's other theories of value by supposing that his seemingly contradictory positions are, in actuality, answers to different questions. According to Mark Blogg, the labor-embodied and labor-commanded theories are concerned with identifying, quote, the best measure of value, while the labor-embodied theory addresses what it is that determines value. Maurice Dobb has taken the opposite position. In his view, the adding-up theory is concerned not with the cause or rule of value, but with the standard of measurement in terms of which the value of commodities and changes in them can be properly estimated. E.K. Hunt suggests the possibility that the adding-up theory does not address the question of relative prices at all. It provides, quote, conclusions about the general level of prices, the absolute purchasing power of a unit of currency, that is, rather than the relative values of different commodities. In some of his writing, Blogg has taken the minority view that the labor-embodied and labor-commanded theories are the same. Hunt has suggested the possibility that the adding-up and labor-embodied theories could both be valid under certain circumstances. Quote, prices could remain proportional to the amounts of labor embodied in commodities only if the value of capital per worker was the same in different lines of production. Dobb has made a similar proposition about the labor-embodied and labor-commanded theories when they're both taken to be measures of value rather than causes. The two measures, he writes, quote, will yield identical results if, but only if, wages remain constant as a proportion of the total value added. Dobb goes on to clarify that he expects both theories to be equivalently good measures of value if the proportion of labor to capital, and hence the ratio of wages to profit, is uniform in all lines of production. The point is that there's a lot of disagreement about whether or not Smith's various theories of value can all be reconciled. The disagreement about how to integrate Smith's seemingly contradictory viewpoints suggests that Smith did not have an integrated view to begin with, and that the innovations of later economists are likely necessary to make the ideas latent in Smith coherent. The importance of Smith's work on the matter of value is not in its exceptional coherence, but instead in the framework he created for later theories of value to build on. He brought forth fragments of value theory on which later economists elaborated. He provided a taxonomy of value and price by defining the different kinds of value, the different kinds of price, and explaining the relationship between them. His work grounded the role of value theory in addressing the fundamental questions of economics, the questions about growth, distribution, trade, etc. The centrality that Smith assigns to value is reflected throughout all of the classical economists. And it's no coincidence that, like in The Wealth of Nations, just about every major treatise in classical economics begins by putting forth a theory of value. This episode marks the end of a series on Adam Smith's theory of value, at least for the time being. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more content like this, where I discuss various topics in the history of economic thought, please consider checking out my YouTube channel.